Diorang kata Fredo terlampau PUBG kan, tapi Fredo cukup semua time untuk slot training tu.
Saya tak tahu kenapa bila kalah je mesti kena disalahkan siapa-siapa. Kenapa?
Patutnya saya lepaskan dia MN, just go PUBG waktu itu.
End of 2018, SEA Games was just announcing that esports will be one of the medal title.
Gold medal right there!
To get a gold medal is beyond my wildest dream. Like I couldn't imagine it before.
Facebook gaming ni dia dah dibuka lagi satu bidang cabang baru iaitu you jadi streamer.
When I ask my kids, why do you like to watch e-sport? They say, why do you like to watch football? You cheer for your team. It's no difference from traditional sports.
冇需要 review 個 team，佢應該個諗法佢係 limit 自己用晒 Malaysia player 太難贏啦。
去 I6以後，我就覺得我在這個隊伍裡面，我跟Ohio也發生過很多不合的東西嘛，最後我就選擇了離開。
We probably have one chance only, so let's go for a major. With the support of the government, so we managed to bring in KL Major to Kuala Lumpur.
在 Fnatic 队的时候，我们刚刚打完一个比赛 qualify 去美国一个比赛的。我们的队伍的传统是这样啊，就是赢了比赛哦，我们是想要去大家一起出去吃 dinner。就那天很奇怪哦，就打完了比赛过后，没有人聊到这个事情哦。然后结果12点钟 Eric 就跟我讲，就要换掉我了。他们就说我很惊讶那时候了，我的人缘很好那时候，我还问他们哦，你们换我了 OK 咯。像这几天 before 那个 player 叫 Universe 嘛换我的人，要不要我把你们再训练多几天，我再走？然后结果他们跟我讲，哦不用，那个 Universe 已经在附近的酒店等了。那我觉得好像感觉就是 everything 都plan好了，要换掉我，然后做了很多，对我来说好像后面做了很多小动作，不要给我知道啊，我不需要刀刀君君这样子啦，会让我很不舒服啊那时候，因为我的那时候的打法没有完完全全跟他的要的打法。觉得不合适，所以我觉得在他立场，他理由是对的啦。外国人行事方式可能比较不一样了，我们这边的人比较重感情啦。好像如果像以前我们之前2016年我要换 net 的时候，答应过我们换他，要有理由，充分理由跟 everything 好好跟你讲，我们换你之类的那些东西，我们会这样子做。外国人可能就是觉得哦，你then you can just get out。对我而言 ，leave a Fnatic 过后，我蛮迷茫了。我觉得那时候我对我自己的要求没有像以前那么高，就开始比较懒散下来。
Everything that I did in Fnatic was for the best interest of the team. And I feel like it might be inconsiderate to Ohio's feelings, but work is work. It's not personal.
第一 night 我哋就 qualify 咗我個 team， 所以牧師就過嚟幫我做 coach。
2019年，我身为一个选手，我参加不了 TI9的这个比赛。然后当时呢，我Kenji 他的队伍是 Mineski 嘛，他跟我打了一个赌，如果他取得预选赛的资格，我就必须答应他做他的教练。
The coach actually is a very important element in any sports.
一个队伍要讲让每个人很融洽，教练也是要抓住这一点每个 player 的那种心态。
当时的我对我来说是一个很大的挑战，因为我还没有进来的时候，他们队伍就是已经是一个大家都比较不满对方，大家都有很不爽的对方。就是我第一天进到来，对我这个 coach 呢，他们是很不认可我的，但是我没有去在乎他们那么多，但是我只是想我要做好我自己的本分，然后我要去用时间去证明给你们看。我说的东西，我做的东西都是对的。整整的1个月，我取得大家的信任，然后他们都很有信心的去准备了去参加这个 TI9的比赛。在 TI9的那个感觉就是很无奈，也很紧张。因为如果我们再打比赛的话，我是全心全意投入比赛，看的人呢，永远都比玩的人呢更加紧张。就另外一个角度，是完全是不一样的感觉，不一样的感受。
其实教练看的东西会比较特别一点的，因为他们毕竟是局外者，他们会看到到底是真正的什么问题导致这场游戏输啊。
We are only having your point of view on the game, but he can see the 5 people point of view and how the opponents are moving as well.
看到他们做一些失误呢，我就很无奈啊。当时身为教练的我确实非常的生气，但是我必须要控制我自己。然后我就看到他们每个人都很刀、很生气、很没有 mood， 但是我还是用我的方式，我还是用很好的语气，我跟他们说了一些道理。我们取得一个9到12名的一个成绩，我们输给了 Secret。整体来说，我觉得能跟秘密打成这样子，而且能有这么大的一个变化，我的选手们都证明他们有自己的价值。对我来说，我自己很满意，也被很多人认可，这是我很大的一个成就感。其实过了 TI9以后，有不少队伍邀请我去当教练，但是当时的我呢，我其实还想再打1年。
跟摩西就是打从差不多去年8月开始回来沟通哦，来误解之前我们讲的东西，然后开始 planning for 要 form for 下一个 team 哦。最近我们有个队员马来人叫尼亚，这个选手的实力很好，他是有点奇怪的选手啦，因为我们在 Dota 2来说，有些人是需要每一天玩很多场来 memorize 你对 Dota 2的理解，他是很喜欢看很多录像，很喜欢做功课的人。
我觉得这种人就是他不是懒惰，他是思考很多。他打得少，但是他思考方式对我们的人不一样。我确实觉得太不可思议了。他的心态、他的游戏的理解、他的个人能力都非常的好，而且才只有18岁，这也是让我太惊讶了。
I think that giving a new player like Nia an opportunity to play in a team like this is very good news for the local scene. You know, players like him lack a lot of opportunities to learn.
一般年轻的选手都比较厉害在 carry 跟 mid， 因为他们的反应快跟技术好。然后一般打久过后呢，他们就从这些比赛经验得到了 experience， 可是他们同时反应也下降了，所以 after that 这些1、2号位的 player 都会慢慢转去3、4、5号位，因为后面的位置都是比较需要去靠 experience 去胜任的。
现在我对这个游戏已经有10多年了，你说还有没有兴趣？现在我是用另外一个方式去 motivate 我自己，我是以一个很professional， 我是以一个工作的心态去对待这个事情。这份工作是我很喜欢做的一份工作，这是我觉得我比很多人都幸运。
But at some point, I feel like everything will come to an end. You know.
In the old days, people always thought that the prime time for professional gamers is around 22, 23 years old. But with the evolution of all the games titles, 30 years old is quite a norm.
Jangka hayat pro player untuk gaming ni, dia tak rasa pendek. Orang kata umur tu bukan pengukur utama, tapi kemampuan dia bermain itu lebih dipandang lah.
我相信每个 pro player 都会遇到这个问题了，
因为年纪会影响每个对你这个选手的要求，因为每个赞助商都需要他们的队是年轻的选手，可是年纪大的选手也是有他的价值的，因为毕竟年纪大了才有 experience 去带那些年纪比较年轻的选手。
我们对游戏理解也不一样了。以前的我们比较头脑简单，就觉得我玩这个英雄我玩得好就可以赢了。现在因为你考虑到的东西是更多于打法跟想法，所以这东西是跟你的个人技术无关的。
最近我打support的原因是因为我就可以分享一下我打的经验，让整个队可能打得比较好一点点。我还是比较喜欢打4号位，是因为我觉得4号位会比较能够运作那整个游戏的走向。
摩西的 role 因为现在在我们队里面算是 supporter， 他们是 more than like planner，predict 对方现在要做什么，然后我要用什么方式一起应对，然后做出一些决定，让 team follow up 哦。
我对 TI10 的期望，其实我可能就是我的最后一个比赛，再打1、2年，无论失败和成功，我都会退下来。然后我是以另外一种身份去拿那个冠军，可能是教练， 可能是管理层，对我来说也是另一种方式去达到我目标的。
如果是问我退休后想要做什么，或许有可能就是当别的DOTA队伍的教练，或者可能就是做主播。
Oh, now we streamer. Now we're very lucky compared to before.
Current esports right in Malaysia right now, you doesn't have to be a player to just join into esports. There's more opportunity like casters, or even coaching, or even streamers.
And recent years, we've seen a sports mentalist, psychologist to help the team with dealing with pressure. There's too much expectations on the shoulders of the players to think about, so they need someone to help them deal with that.
E-sport ni dia ada banyak bidang kerja yang boleh involve dalam e-sport. Contohlah untuk menghasilkan live tu sebenarnya ada production team kat belakang ni. Dia melibatkan marketing eksekutif, dia melibatkan public relationship eksekutif, dia melibatkan observer, marshals dan banyak lagi, graphic designer, video editor. This is peluang untuk diorang involve dalam e-sport juga.
我觉得每个人都有他自己选择的路，因为毕竟打那种 competitive 也是会比较压力，不是每个人都可以承受得了的。我不觉得有什么不好，我只是觉得这个是每个人自己选择的路。
Kenapa saya quit lepas SEA Games tu, tak adalah saya quit, just saya nak rehat kejap. Sebab saya non-stop main dari MPL season 1 sampai season 4. Ada setengah orang tanya bila nak comeback balik ke competitive scene kan. Tapi macam sekarang ni saya fokus streaming. Maybe next time kalau ada masa lepas dah kerja-kerja streaming tu dah siap, mungkin boleh test join tournament.
Saya stop Mobile Legends pun sebab saya dah rasa macam dah hilang passion tu. So saya start leave ML dan go ke PUBG. Mula-mula saya main PUBG for casual je. Tiba-tiba ada orang approach untuk main for their team. Dan saya setuju, saya start main tournament apa semua. Rasa lagi seronok, lagi nak explore more. Tak banyak perbezaan pun sebenarnya PUBG dengan ML ni. Dua-dua game perlukan individual skill yang tinggi. Perlukan teamwork yang tinggi dalam satu team.
So PUBG PC ni pernah viral. PUBG PC ni hanyalah ada PC. Orang yang ada PC je yang boleh main PUBG PC ni. Tiba-tiba satu hari PUBG mengeluarkan di mobile, benda tu jadi fenomena. Waktu tu juga ramai yang bermain Mobile Legend. So ramai yang Mobile Legend beralih ke PUBG Mobile.
Well, maybe he can blame Fredo for actually honking the car. So.
First team yang saya join adalah team X-Killer lah, TXS. Kita orang tengah tournament PMNC. Bosku pula tengah main untuk ML. Funny thing is, saya tak main untuk dorang. Dorang menang. Lepas tu kat PUBG pula, saya kalah. Saya dapat nombor 6. Dah rasa macam, aku punca ke team ni tak menang. Lepas tu one day tu ada satu player, nama dia Jumper. Dan pada waktu tu kita orang ada tournament dekat Penang. Kita orang tak cukup player keempat. Saya tanyalah dia nak main tak? So start dari situ, saya ajak dia. Dia nak main sekali. Kita orang start rapat. One day Yudu tengah cari player. Dan waktu tu saya tak tahu lah rezeki ke apa. Jumper cakap, nak ambil dia, ambil saya sekali. Package lah basically. So kita orang dua-dua masuk Yudu serentak. Bersama dengan Drex dan juga Man Parang. Kekuatan Yudu Gang, keempat-empat player ni ada individual skill yang tinggi. Diorang boleh berfikir dengan sendiri. Diorang semua dah ada experience yang tinggi juga. Pernah main berbulan-bulan liga dekat peringkat tinggi.
Yudu Gang adalah satu tim yang penuh dengan friendship. Diorang keep friendship diorang, communication diorang sangat bagus dekat luar dengan dekat dalam tim.
From Southeast Asia Division, please welcome Yudu Gang.
First tournament yang saya main untuk PUBG Mobile adalah PEC, Peacekeeper Cup dekat China. Saya bermain dengan sangat teruk lah waktu tu. Tournament tu kira macam starting point saya dalam career PUBG Mobile saya lah. Dan disebabkan tournament tu lah membuatkan saya lebih berfikir untuk jadi lebih baik. Nak train more apa semua. So lepas saya sampai dekat PMPL tu saya dah ready. Memorable moment saya adalah memenangi PMPLC Finals tu lah. Tak dijangka lah yang kita orang boleh kalahkan top teams dekat Asia ni. Sebab tak pernah lagi tim Malaysia menang kat peringkat Asia. Dekat ML tak pernah lagi saya menang ataupun menjuari apa-apa kejohanan. Dekat PUBG saya dah dapat rasa champion untuk Asia.
Untuk Grand Final PMPL, pada awalnya saya tidak mahu meletakkan harapan yang terlalu tinggi. First game dekat Erangel, berlawan dengan pasukan Bigatron daripada Indonesia yang memang world champion, dan diorang dapatkan chicken dinner, satu spark dalam diri lah yang membuatkan saya sebagai seorang caster, wow, Malaysia sebenarnya boleh menang. Dan sampai sekarang, Yudo Gang adalah satu tim yang diminati oleh komuniti.
Next step ataupun dream kita orang, of course nak menang World Championship lah. Kita orang berharap yang boleh menang lah dekat peringkat paling tinggi lah ni, paling tinggi sekali. It's like TI lah untuk PUBG Mobile. Selagi saya tak dapat title juara dunia tu, macam ada kekosongan dalam hati saya lah. Kalau tak menang tournament lagi, tak menang peringkat paling tinggi lagi, rasa macam nak kejar lagi benda tu, nak kejar lagi.
Zaman Mushi dulu satu saja, pro player. Sekarang dia dah jadi streamer, lagi satu bidang yang boleh diceburi oleh anak muda kita. Jadi Fredo dengan Solo dulu, diorang mula dengan tournament. Bila dah dapat streaming, diorang dah naik, dah famous, views berkembanglah fanbase diorang kat situ.
Saya pun tak tahu apa yang best. Diorang kata saya kelakar lah, apalah, saya pun tak tahu. Tapi diorang kata mungkin diorang suka tengok saya kalah kot.
Pertama kali saya jumpa Solo dia berborak dengan saya macam mana dia gain income in social media. Benda tu tak semua orang akan cerita tau. Bila orang tak kedekut ilmu, orang tu akan berjaya.
Untuk memories dengan viewers tahun lepas kot. Time tu kira macam bulan tu memang saya dapat banyak donation daripada viewers. Saya donate ke orang tu juga. Mula-mula kita donate ada daripada orang yang tak ada viewers. So kita nampak ada orang punya reaction. Ada yang menjerit, ada yang menangis, ada yang tak perasan semua. Ada macam-macam ni lah reaction lah. Sampai sekarang saya stream. Cumanya apa yang saya dapat, achievement saya tahun 2019. Ada satu masa tu kat Filipina, Facebook panggil semua content creator yang kat Malaysia ni. So kita pergi kat sana, rupanya dia datang nak bagi macam reward dekat content creator untuk event macam nak kumpul semua content creator lah, kita nak lagi kenal sama sendiri. So dekat event tu saya dapat award kira macam Facebook Most Watch Creator lah. Bila tahun 2020 ni mungkin ada award next ke, mana tahu kan. Boleh kita try dapat kan. So banyak lagi lah kita punya plan dari segi kualiti ataupun cara percakapan. Maybe saya kena pergi kelas lepas ni cakap English pula. Ni tarik audience dari negara luar. Permulaan kejayaan saya masuk dalam e-sport ni, saya tak sangka yang saya boleh dapat 1 million follower. Rasa gembira lah.
Saya pernah nampak dia punya interview. Dia cakap fans tu is like his family. So how humble dia, you can judge yourself. Kebanyakannya orang yang humble ni, dia akan naik sebegitu.
Paling ramai yang masa saya menang PMPL C final dulu ada 50k kot. That's a lot of people yang watching a single guy here kan. So terkejut, gembira pun ada. Sebab ada, waktu tu saya baru menang tournament dan ada 50,000 orang ni yang datang nak wish congrats. So saya rasa macam accomplish something dan ramai orang yang kisah pasal benda tu.
Makin lama makin sedikit sekarang ini.
Jadi seorang influencer ni tanggungjawab dia besar sebenarnya. Kita buat benda yang tak elok akan memberikan kesan yang negatif kepada bidang gaming dan e-sport secara overall lah. Jadi sebab aku streamers kena sentiasa jaga adab, tidak boleh melampau. Saya nak tunjuk kat dia orang gaming ni pun adalah orang yang mahu manfaat.
Memang mak saya dah pesan, kata macam kalau tengah kerja kawallah perasaan, kawallah mulut tu, sebab dalam stream tu banyak orang tengok. Ada yang dari budak kecil sampailah orang tua.
Streaming is also a very efficient avenue or efficient option for someone who wants to create a career out of it. If you can make it big, you really will make it big.
They get a lot of revenues by just streaming. So nowadays, people open their eyes and think, oh, with streaming, you also can join esports and get paid.
Orang yang nak ceburi bidang stream ni, katakanlah kalau ada satu game ni yang dah popular kan, diorang tak boleh main game tu sebab dia akan kena compete dengan streamer-streamer yang dah besar kan. So dia kena create dia punya base dulu. So dia kena main game yang macam tak popular dah kuat, baru dia jump ke game lain. So bila dia jump ke game lain tu, adalah dia punya followers dia yang follow dia.
Faktor utama yang 3 tadi itulah, pandai hiburkan orang, interaksi dengan orang, pandai berkomunikasi dengan orang. Sebab orang akan more attracted to you sebabkan awak punya karakter lah.
Kalau nak jadi streamer ni, kau kena cari watak kau. Kau kena kerja top global juga. Maksudnya kalau kau ada pengguna massman, kau kena kerja number 1. Bila number 1 massman, diorang tahu yang kau ni stream di Facebook, di mana-mana platform Facebook, diorang akan cari kau juga. Kau orang rasa nak dapat viewers yang banyak, nak top global kau kerja, kau akan dapat viewers dan kau akan dapat followers macam tu.
Knowledge about streaming, macam mana nak entertain orang, macam mana nak tarik viewer, itu benda tu yang kena belajar hari-hari. Kita kena tengok streaming orang lain, macam mana orang ni tarik viewer. Penyediaan saya untuk start streaming, saya tengok pada diri saya dulu. So, korang kena ada semangat tu. Macam saya start, saya cakap ada, mesti ada. If korang rasa benda ni boleh, korang boleh tahan dengan community streaming ni, you go for it for full time.
I'm not even a streamer, but I know it's not easy. Why? Because do you know how hard is it to entertain people in front of the camera? And if a streamer can do that, he must be really good. And that is something to appreciate about.
This year, it will be 18 years of Orange Internet Shop, our cyber cafe business. The question keep coming back to, I keep asking myself, how long this business can be? But the years proven that the lifespans of internet cafe business is keep on expanding due to the evolvement of gaming industry, and now with the esports, it actually extend the lifespans even further. People think that should you own the PC at home, you won't go to cyber cafe. But cyber cafe is the place where people like to hang out with their friends, they socialize with their friends, having some fun with their friends. Cyber cafe will keep on viable into the futures.
If we play games at home, yes, we can use via internet to communicate, but we still do not have that gathering experience. So the atmosphere is irreplaceable. Gamers' taste in PCs changes throughout the times. Back then, full HD is the main, but now 2K in 4K gaming, it's getting more matured. Gamers demand more graphic-intensive PCs, so that is the trend that we are looking at right now. You can just take out your mobile phone from your pocket and you can instantly play any games, anywhere, anytime. True gamers will really appreciate the details of the graphics of PC gaming, the gameplay, which is more sophisticated and more interesting, that is irreplaceable by the mobile gaming. In 5 years or maybe a few years later, we will see higher resolution gaming and higher refresh rate. We won't hear 8K this term a few years back, but now we are talking about 8K gaming. 4K 120 Hz and above will be the mainstream, and 2K will be the common one. So I will say gamers are pushing the limit for higher resolution with higher frame rate so that they can enjoy more immersive games in coming years.
My cousin and I, we were both in Japan. We meet up every 2 weeks or so. We were talking about many game ideas, you know. It occurred to me that maybe we should make a game that really focuses on music, where the audio has a bigger role in game design, but it's not a rhythm game. So that's how No Straight Roads was born. I came back to Malaysia in December 2017, created Metronomic with him, and then we started straight away with No Straight Roads.
And when he shared about his idea of this game, I was really intrigued. And it's quite meaningful to really see, the progression that the team has been making since day one.
When you listen to music, you can actually tell whether chorus is going to kick in. Even if you don't know the song very well, let's say, for example, when the chorus comes in, then the boss will definitely do a hand slam. At first, it might be very overwhelming, right? Because you don't know the song very well. But if you play the song many times, you will eventually understand that, oh, the hand slam is going to come in 3, 2, 1. That's the core concept of No Straight Roads. We didn't want to stop there. We wanted to make sure that we pay respect to music in its entirety. So we came up with the classic tale of the clash of taste. This culture, of people just boasting about their taste and thinking that other people's taste is horrible. And we came up with the classic tale of rock versus EDM. And No Straight Roads is about an indie rock band trying to topple an EDM empire. We had all the bosses have different motivations as to why they want to play music in the first place, So every single enemy in No Straight Roads is not just a villain. They also have their reasons as to why they're doing something like that. Now that the game is out, people are really praising the story and the characters as well, and it kind of pays off and it's really nice.
So I've been seeing, many people queuing. Whenever I wanted to play, No Straight Road in a game show, at one point I managed to try it, and it was amazing. It's quite a unique experience for me. I don't have a very good sensitivity towards music, but I really enjoyed the game.
Because to be honest, every time we go to a game show, the first thing that the development team says is, please don't show it at a game show. Because you can never be confident of the prototype, right? So I said, no, we have to show this game to the world. And then we can get feedback from the world. When we won the awards, it gave us the confidence that we are going the right direction.
Although the game industry has always been around in Malaysia, it was very nascent. Nobody really spent time, especially within the government and the stakeholders, to actually grow it.
It's very sad to know that a typical Malaysian might still don't know that the video game industry exists.
So we took a concerted effort to really see how we could develop the ecosystem further. And this is where also the excitement around esports came about. And we had to learn from everyone and see how we could actually accelerate the industry further. My name is Hasno Hari Samsudin. I'm the Vice President at the Digital Creative Content Division in MDEC, or Malaysia Digital Economy Corporation. MDEC as an investment-focused organization or ecosystem is always about trying to build an ecosystem. But the reality is, if you want to build the game industry, you need to look at the whole spectrum, which includes game market. Then only that people will be interested to see how you can grow a game industry in Malaysia. What we did was we look at what's available in Malaysia. What are the gaps in Malaysia in terms of growing the game industry? And what we realized, there were very specific things that we wanted. Number one, for sure, that we need to make sure that the government was behind us to bring investments into Malaysia, right? That is also critical. And after that, we had to work with the institutions of higher learning. How do you also make sure that you get the excitement of these kids wanting to be part of this global game industry? And this is where I think our journey in developing the gaming industry started. 2015, one of the things that I think, if you're really serious about the games industry, we need to have our own game event. We decided to have our own. Level Up KL. We bring speakers from overseas, regional speakers, and also give business opportunities to our animation and new media companies. This also gave us a platform for our game developers to pitch to potential VCs. It started very modestly, 300-man event, just a couple of talks over a couple of days. As we progressed year on year, Level Up KL has grown, become the regional game event in the region. It became a business-to-business platform. It became a place to showcase some of the great games. We also did Southeast Asia Game Awards, Gigabash, No Straight Roads, Re-Legend. All these games winning the Game Awards from the Level Up KL gives them exposure. Level Up has grown last year to a public event. We wanted to sort of give the feel of a Tokyo game show or a Taipei game show in Malaysia. We had over 1,500 game developers that came from around the region in Malaysia. And over the 2 days weekend, we had 16,000 visitors. We had esports events happening. We also had booths where schools, universities actually give talks to potential sort of students and parents about opportunities and learnings about the game industry. We had career booths from companies like Bandai Namco. Then most importantly is allow our game developers, our local game developers, have a space for them to actually showcase and get people to play their games. It's really nice to see kids playing and enjoying our local games. So hopefully one day, Gigabash and No Straight Roads become household names because we provide these kind of platforms.
I think people that visited Level Up Play last year will be amazed. Hasno has been doing a great job
On the business side, we grow the next sort of heroes within the industry. We have Level Up Inc., short for Level Up Incubator or Incorporated. Here we actually have small startups. Here they actually will be given very affordable rates in a very nice office space to become game developers. They're also offered mentorship programs from sort of industry experts around the world.
I was very surprised to know that there are so many grants. There's a very good infrastructure. We actually have co-working spaces for different levels of game companies.
What we found out, which is really important in actually growing the game industry, is that people are very community-based. They grow within a community. So what we found out is that there's so much knowledge that's being shared between the founders of the game companies here. And it's something that you would never see if they're on their own. So having a space like Level Up Inc. allows the game founders to actually share ideas. Level Up Inc., this was a pitch to the government that we needed to have an incubation for a center for games. So we were actually were able to convince the government and even MDEC that we needed to invest into a place like this. When we brought investors here, they were all very impressed. The Malaysian government has put so much effort into growing the games industry by providing these kinds of facilities. And this has helped us a lot in terms of marketing Malaysia. Sony PlayStation will also open a studio in Malaysia. I would never have thought Sony would actually think about setting up a studio here, but they saw the talent, they saw the opportunity, and they saw also the ecosystem that's burgeoning within the region. My vision is that games is no longer a taboo anymore, right? It is a preferred choice for a vocation.
Video game industry is not just involving programmers, game designers and all that. We need accountants, we need lawyers, we need people of different walks of life to make video games. Because video game is a huge industry. We have already reached a revenue of around $195 billion US. And if I'm not mistaken, by 2022, it's going to go like $225 billion US. It's a very, very big industry. Unfortunately, Malaysia is still only taking a small portion of that. I can tell you that, in the future as well, there'll be different genres and there'll be different platforms and there'll be VR as well and all this stuff, and possibly even newer jobs that we don't have today will exist in the future. So I would like to invite everyone to join us and to mark Malaysia on the map.
Kalau kita main dulu, memang susah. Dulu mahal, lepas tu banyak benda yang tak terdedah. Sekarang ni semua benda dah terdedah, macam software, apps, lepas tu harga barang-barang semua dah murah, lepas tu banyak rujukan. Kiranya untuk anak-anak muda yang nak ceburi e-sport ni pun, diorang dah tak perlu nak pening kepala dia sebab dah ada orang yang dah pernah explore benda tu kan. So diorang just nak tahu macam mana perjalanan diorang je.
Mobile games sekarang adalah fenomena yang baru lah.
Mobile ni naik dengan mendadak sebabkan dia mobile, senang nak main kat mana-mana sahaja dan dia mampu milik harga dia murah. Awak ada phone yang belacan pun boleh main game Mobile Legends tu dah.
Right now, you also see a lot of gamers coming and forming their own Malaysian teams. This is also a sign of how they show their patriotism towards the country.
Last time where PC have this, where you have a lot of tournaments, people don't see is something yet. That's why PC gaming are going up very slow. Mobile games start fast is because now people start to believe that esports can make something.
Waktu saya start main tu, tak ada siapa langsung pandang mobile boleh go into e-sport. So sekarang e-sport tu dah makin berkembang, and then society dah start untuk menerima yang main game ni bukan membuang masa, dia boleh buat sebagai career.
我猜想也是有，因为可能是因为时代进步了嘛，可能现在结婚的人可能都30、40岁，都经历过这种 游戏的东西，可能他们会比较更愿意去尝试了解孩子去玩游戏的乐趣在哪。
As far as early as 2018, you see parents actually buying games so they can bring it back to their children. So it's different now because our gamers have become parents. So I see that change really apparent right now.
Back in my days, I say we don't have a lot of things. But until today, we have e-sport, we have a lot of access towards the internet, but we still don't have recognition like.
我一向来都觉得马来西亚有这个潜力，可能这里的电竞环境就是那种不够职业，可能就是投资者很少，然后就是讲你在这里的电竞不能做的特别的大。国外的电竞环境比这里好太多，然后把这些马来西亚该有的人才全部都已经吸引过去了。如果是有政府去推广的话来说，相信会有更多的投资者还是什么可以看得到这个行业的机会什么的。
We have to work more closely with the government of Malaysia to see how we can actually have a blueprint to actually put all this together and give every gamer a chance in Malaysia. Instead of just sanctioning the event, what they should do is they should get more involved and engage in the community.
If Malaysia can implement and formalize this National Esport League, then it will actually help to spur the growth of the whole esport ecosystems. And this is not only in Klang Valley, but spread across all the states in Malaysia. So the advantage of implementing this National Esport League is, besides discovering all the talented players in Malaysia and groom them to be professional players, it also helps to create jobs and make the esport content more available to all Malaysian publics and actually help us to sustain our lead in esports industry.
I think in this case is really about talking to game publishers. The reality is esports really around game publishers right now. Our team has been talking to the likes of Tencent, the likes of Garena to see how they can actually start, sort of have an easier way of actually doing their tournaments in Malaysia. One of the fears that they had before was people not paying the prize pools. So MESF is working on a platform that allows these competitions to happen, but must be registered under MESF.
I think taking esports to the next level would require leagues to sustain the lower tier teams first. You need to do some kind of grassroots leagues so that people can slowly learn, and probably every month, maybe 2 weeks a month, you get to play in a league against opponents, and there should be some sort of way to move into another level so that you play against better teams and so on.
Many people think it's to do more, to host more female tournaments. That is one way of looking at it. But the other way is to have an organization like who would pick up girls and to protect their dreams. With the protection of an organization, this girl's dream might be protected. Because even with the harassment, you have an organization to tell you that if you're not this good, you wouldn't be in this organization.
Jadi saya harap komuniti sendiri akan membantu mereka yang berminat dalam e-sukan ni mencari pathway mereka, mencari jalan.
We as a community, we got to make it look good. It has to come from us first before we ask for more. So I hope that we all play a role, we all do it well. In that way, we are more united, and that way, the Malaysia gaming scene will become much more bigger, much more stronger.
This is where I think it's really important for all the esports athletes, game developers to really push themselves out there and shout that they're Malaysians. And I think this will give a lot of inspiration to a lot of other people who might be in the woodworks. They don't know if they're sure about taking that step or the leap forward. And this is where all these guys who are waiting for those heroes to come out. We can't stay back anymore. I think this is the time Malaysians need to show their best feet forward. And the talent is already there.
Ultimately, we hope that all these initiatives will help create a gaming culture beyond the realm of our subscriber base. By continuing our support to the esports industry, We really hope to be able to discover new talents. We hope to discover people like Manparang, Drax, Jumper and Fredo. There is no doubt that the local esports scene will continue to grow. We believe that with the right support from the various parties, including private corporations and the government, the future of esports in Malaysia is definitely bright.
我觉得 gaming 教会了我就是如何看人，如何做人。你会看得到很多就是那一种，在你真的是成名，就是比较有名气的时候，然后身边的人是怎么样的一个模样，然后过后当你可能比较低迷的时候，然后身边的人又是另外一个模样，就会比较会看人的那种性格，那种教会我做人就不可以太高傲。我觉得太高傲就是一定会有报应的。我就觉得做什么事情，我觉得就平常心去对待，不要去想你付出多少就要得到多少。
Apa yang saya dapat selama ni lah, friendship satu ya. Kedua tu, dulu saya ni macam orang cakap saya ni introvert. Cuma saya belajarlah macam mana nak cakap dengan orang ataupun cakap dengan siapa-siapa lah. So sekarang ni saya dah biasa nak adapt dengan ramai orang. Macam bila saya stream pun tahu macam mana nak cakap dengan viewers, macam mana nak kontrol emosi apa semua. Dia boost kita punya keyakinan lah.
Gaming has taught me how to work with others, how to be more of a human in some ways, because I was a very close person before that. I didn't really know how to talk to other people. I didn't really know how to work with other people, and in a team you kind of have to do that. You can't just do everything your own way and expect everything to work.
Nasihat saya kepada orang-orang baru atau player baru, first kali usaha, nak meyakinkan keluarga memang susah. Tapi korang boleh yakinkan dengan hasil. Cuba masuk tournament apa semua, cuba buat sesuatu yang boleh meyakinkan orang.
Kita boleh tunjukkan bukti. So itulah yang benda mak ayah yang nak. Dia nak nampak something daripada anak dia. At least anak dia buatlah benda yang boleh stablekan diri sendiri kan. Ada something dapat kan. So tak adalah buang masa.
Our advice to the youngsters, esports career is not more straightforward. And the best foundation that you can have is finish your tertiary education to let you have a strong foundation to build your esport career.
你要做好失败的准备。如果你要当成一个 professional player 的话，这不是说你想当你就当，因为你会付出你的所有的时间，fully focus on 你的 professional career。
我建议说，如果有新的人想要接触 esport， 可能可以给自己差不多1-2年的时间去尝试。当你看到希望的时候，你就继续；当你发现你不行的时候，就马上退出了。
不是每一个人都可以从职业选手上面赚到很多钱，有些人就是可能连3餐都会有问题。所以你要在做这个决定之前，你就要先认真想清楚。如果你不会后悔，那你就去追。
Gagal tu satu kepastian juga. Tapi macam mana nak datang balik daripada gagal tu, itu yang bawa kemenangan sebenarnya. Winners never quit, quitters never win. So basically senang je. Kalau tak pernah putus asa, insya-Allah takkan kalah. Selagi tak putus asa, takkan kalah. Mesti akan menang juga. Cuma kena sabar.
Kejayaan datang daripada kegagalan. So korang kena cuba lagi, cuba lagi. Ujung sekali korang akan menang juga.
For 那些真的想要成为职业选手的人，要明白有些牺牲是必须要需要的咯。勇敢的去走下去 ，believe 真的是要 believe 你是可以的。
Two-time TI champions OG, ladies and gentlemen。
其實你睇贏過好多 TI 第2名啊、第3名啊，佢哋做乜繼續打？佢哋覺得如果未一世人一次未贏過，佢呢個事業都唔算成功。
哪一个世界冠军对我的意义，我觉得就是认可吧。我觉得哪一个世界冠军对我来说，就是我都打这么多年的一个认可。
So I think the best athlete in the world has never been about being a competitive player or the way they practice, anything. It's never been about all those stuff. The reason, I believe, it comes back to wanting to make a change for others, for yourself, for the community, for the game itself, for anyone.
Kita buat sebab kita nak bangunkan e-sport tu, kita nak meriahkan. Semua memang niat main sebab minat. Main sebab nak bangunkan, main sebab nak kembangkan, expand. Tak ada siapa main untuk prize pool, tak ada. Kalau nak main untuk tournament, semua nak main atas rasa nak title tu.
因为 MC 有关系，我相信很多个游戏都比较很难去往上走先了。但我相信 after MCU 应该是没有问题了，因为 e-sport industry 这样都好 ，as long 一直有加入新的那种游戏都好，不管是Dota 2都好啦，还是 FPS game 都好，我相信都不会过时，而且人们都会永远都会一直在使用，都会再去玩。
Like any sports, whether it's esports or traditional sports, you talk about the fans. And when you talk about fans, you talk about the passion. Every sports fan is passionate about their team, the players, the athletes, and all that. So it's just in human nature in a way. At the end of the day, things that unite the genre, be it sports, music, and whatever different genre it is the passion of the community and the fans.
I see that those who game usually are a bit more confident in a way, willing to take chances, because in a game maybe you die and you try something else, right? Somebody who doesn't game that much maybe will not try as much as somebody who probably won't be able to calculate that. When we're able to look at games as more of something that is already inherently very human, is that we will progress forward. I mean, you'll see now already games are changing in terms of what they mean to someone. People are expressing a lot of their ideas, their hopes within games. People find relevancy in games that they don't find in real life. But to the mainstream, I hope that it becomes even more.
Harapannya adalah semua orang, sama ada gamers, pro players, streamers, event organizer, sponsor, publisher adalah untuk menghidupkan environment yang healthy, yang baik untuk semua gamers kita ni. Dia ada peperangan di antara masyarakat yang tak suka e-sport dengan orang yang pro e-sport. Kita nak benda ni diterima sepenuhnya oleh semua orang. Itulah harapan saya.